From Lebanon to Hong Kong, Haiti to the UK, people are out on the streets demanding change. The issues are many, from corruption to climate change. So as global protests appear to be on the rise, we ask, what's driving these demonstrations? This is Inside Story. Hello and welcome to the program. I'm Richelle, Carey. People in different parts of the world are increasingly expressing their discontent with our government's policies. It's impossible these days for us to report the news without mentioning a protest somewhere in the world. Many of the specific issues may be different, but there are common themes at their core: corruption, injustice, climate change, human rights. Protesters were challenging authorities, even in places where it was once considered unthinkable to do so. But just as the demands are varied, so are the outcomes. Some have found success through their campaigns, others have not. And governments are divided on how to address what appears to be a global phenomenon of protest movements. Let's take a closer look at some of the protests that are happening right now. In Lebanon, crowds are calling for a complete overhaul of their government, angry over a crumbling economy. Hong Kong has experienced months of protests against what's seen as a growing influence from Beijing. In Catalonia, days of marches have consumed the region's streets as the pro and anti-secession movements make their voices heard. In Chile, Sudan, Haiti, and around the world, people are angry and they're out on the streets.
I am for the reforms. I am against the destruction of Lebanon. Lebanon has been badly damaged by the politicians for 30 years. Today their thrones are shaking. I am with the reforms and early parliamentarian elections.
If you have a little bit of morality, a little bit of nationalism, if you have a little bit of love for the country, then please hand over the keys, because the people can't stand it any longer. We're asking you to step down. Step down. Let the people go. We can't take it any longer.
Social injustice is everywhere. The minority concentrates all the wealth. This is about how they rob us in supermarkets, in healthcare, how they profit with our pensions.
And there have been some historic protests over the past 10 years. The Arab Spring, of course, took place in 2011. It shook the foundations of countries across North Africa and the Middle East. In the U.S., the killing of an unarmed black man triggered nationwide marches that gave rise to the Black Lives Matter movement. In 2014, an uprising in Ukraine altered the course of that country. The recent Yellow Vest movement in France and Brexit protests in the UK seek to do the same. In Latin America, corruption and struggling economies have triggered mass protests in Brazil and Venezuela. And earlier this year, a global climate strike rallied support from millions around the world. Let's bring in our...
Shalom. First and foremost, want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, by Hashem Rakah Kodash. Double honor to the apostles, elders, a great millstone, the men that taught me this truth through the Spirit. Peace and blessings to you, brothers that's teaching this word, the truth and sincerity, risking your lives to do so. And double peace and blessings to the rest of the elect of the house of Israel that's scattered throughout the four corners of the earth. Now, this is in response or a commentary to why are so many people protesting. And Lord's will, they help me keep, hopefully I can keep that clip up, because I'm just using this for educational and edification purposes and not monetary gain. Okay, so it says, why are so many people protesting? Why is there a spirit of uprising going on in the planet Earth right now? And as you can see, as years go on, it's happening more frequently. Okay? Because the Lord compares the uprising of the people and all the events that's happening on planet Earth, figuratively or comparing it to a woman that's giving birth. And these are small birth pains that's happening. And as the years go on, those birth pains are going to come stronger, and they're going to be even more painful compared to where the pregnancy first started. Because it was minor pains, and minor things happening. There'll be a protest over here, protest over there, a killing over there, killing over there, a uprising over there, uprising over here, earthquake over here, earthquake over there. But as the years go on, these birth pains are happening more frequently. And these are all signs of the Lord visiting the earth which he had made. We're going to get into the scriptures. This is Luke chapter 12, verse 49. I am come to send fire on the earth, and what will I if it already be kindled? So when the Lord returns, he's coming with a bang, man. All right? For the brothers that already know, for the new listeners, the Lord is coming back. This up and coming Third World War. In the midst of the Third World War, when the nuclear missiles are shot and they're destroying the lands that they hit, number one is Babylon, spiritual Egypt, spiritual Sodom, aka America. He's going to return and he's going to set ablaze to the earth by the way of chariots, which the world ignorantly calls them UFOs. Whether you believe it or not, the Bible backs up what I'm saying. The earth backs up what I'm saying. Because there's been more sightings of the chariots than there ever been. Okay? And the Bible explains everything that's happening on the planet Earth today. So it says, I have come to set fire on the earth. Because the Lord ain't coming back to bring love or peace. Contrary to popular belief, contrary to what the Christians and the other churches, theologians teach. And it said, what will I if it already be kindled? Because there's already a fire going on the blaze of the planet Earth. And that's with the people. It says the number of mass protests around the world appear to be growing, sharing common themes at their core. And what is the common theme? Oppression, unrighteous decrees, unrighteous taxes, unrighteous legislations, the people not getting their just dues, not being accounted for their labors. All right? That's what's happening on the planet Earth. And these are all a part of the signs and the times that the Messiah spoke about. This is Matthew chapter 24, verse 6. And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. And we hear the wars and rumors of wars, where America threatens Russia, Russia threatens America, North Korea threatens America, China says they're going to leave America, they're going to stop dealing with the dollar. You got things that's going on with Brexit. Okay? Well, Britain actually left the European Union. Okay? So, all these things are a part of the wars and rumors of war. The war that's going on in Syria right now. Okay? So it says, see that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. So he's telling his elect not to be troubled. Don't be scared of all the wars that's going on. Don't be scared of all the uprisings of the people. So it says, for nation shall rise against nation, kingdom against kingdom. And there shall be famines, pestilence, and earthquakes in diverse places. So all these things is going to go on in diverse places. That's why we know that we're living in the end times. We're living in the last days. Because all these things that the Bible speaks of is happening on the earth today. Nation shall rise against nation. Kingdom against kingdom. You got one race of people rising up against another race of people. You got one kingdom, one empire fighting against another empire. And there shall be famines, pestilence, and earthquakes in diverse places. All these events are happening throughout the earth. And that's why we know our Lord is drawing nigh. Our salvation is nearer than when we believe. All right? No, not that. Let's get this. 1 Thessalonians chapter 5, verse 1. But of the times and seasons, brethren, ye have no need that I write unto you. So Paul saying there's no need for me to. There's going to become a time where YouTube is going to be done away with. It's going to be shut down. Or if it's not shut down, this word won't be able to be broadcast on YouTube anymore. Whether it's by YouTube being shut down or the elites pulling the plug on the Hebrew Israelites. They're going to stop this truth from being pushed out on the internet. Because as long as we on the highways and byways, as long as we safe, it's safe to go on the highways and byways, we got to be out there. But in regards to it being put on a video platform or streaming service, if they take that down, that's the beginning of the famine of the word. It is already starting. It's already starting. They started pulling brothers' videos, censoring brothers' videos, deleting brothers' channels. So Paul said, of the times and seasons, brethren, ye have no need that I write unto you, because the message is out. You're not going to need to watch Apostle Tahar videos to see know what time we living in. You ain't got to go to, brothers' videos, Apostle Tahar, Apostle Gabal, Apostle Ramla, Apostle Rakar, and all the other brothers throughout the states. All right? All the other elders throughout the states. But not the Zagba, the elders up here, Elder Ayathan, Elder Menatazak, the Elder Yashawamba, Ariala, the brothers in Chicago, the brothers in California, Barak Allah, Manatazak. Okay? You ain't got to watch brothers' videos to know what time we're living in. The brothers up in Canada, the brothers up in London, the brothers are scattered throughout there's small sanctuaries throughout the four corners of the earth. I can't name all y'all brothers, man. All right? So it says, ye have no need that I write unto you, for yourselves know perfectly that the day of the Lord so cometh as a thief in the night. Because no man, no angel, no prophet, no king knows the exact minute, second, hour, day that the Lord is going to return. Only Yahweh himself. But we know perfectly that the day of the Lord is going to come unexpectedly. So this is one of the clues the Lord left us so we can know what time period he's coming back in. For when they shall say peace and safety, their sudden destruction cometh upon them. So when they talking peace and safety, which they talking about here in America, because you can see the state of civil unrest and uprising against the government going on the planet Earth. But where is it not going on at? America, where they are constantly being rocked to sleep. They are constantly being sugar-coated, acting like there's nothing going on the planet. When the planet Earth is in a state of war, it's a state of rebellion and chaos and uprising. But you Americans are so damn domesticated, you're so damn docile, that you're still caught up into your breads and circuses, your entertainment, your altered realities, your Disney World way of living. For when they shall say peace and safety, This sudden destruction cometh upon them, as travail upon a woman with child, and they shall not escape. So, like I said earlier, when this word first was going out, the birth pains was happening little by little. The birth pains symbolically being the prophecies or the events that's happening on the planet Earth. The uprising of the governments, the natural disasters, the the value of the dollar collapsing, the wars between the different nations and countries. They was happening little by little, the earthquakes in diverse places, little by little. But now that this word is going out on a greater scale, the end is happening before our eyes. So it says, and they shall not escape. So none is going to escape the wrath of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. But ye brethren are not in darkness, that the day shall overtake you as a thief. Because we're watching as well as praying that we don't fall into temptation. We're looking for the signs of the Lord, and we're prophesying it. All right, let's read some of this article now. People in different parts of the world are increasingly expressing their discontent with their government's policies. Many, except for America, where you fucking zombies, you sheep will live at, man. Show you that these nations, they got great pride, man. They got great pride. They ain't going to stand for the bullshit. They ain't going to stand for GMOs. They ain't going to stand for certain shit, man. But you Americans, y'all just take everything, man. Y'all take everything. You take you people getting gunned down. You take your people getting incarcerated. You take your people getting GMO foods and everything else. So it says, many of the issues may be different, but they share common themes at their core: corruption, injustice, climate change, and human rights. Protesters are challenging authorities, even in places where it was considered unthinkable to do so. So that shows that we're at the end, because protesting against the government is treason. It's treason. There's ways to go about trying to right your government wrongs, which is election, which is all bullshit. But that's how you try to get your views and your thoughts into the seats of government, through the politicians, through voting, which is all bullshit. Because they gotta live by a certain code and agenda that was set before, that's sketched in stone. And I don't give a damn what their viewpoints is. They have to live by that agenda and that code, and by the rules of the government, which is the rules of the elites. So it says, protesters challenging authorities, even places where it was once considered unthinkable to do so, because in certain these countries, that's jail time. You'll go to prison for speaking out against your government, for protesting, for not going to work, not paying taxes. All right? So it says, but as much as their demands are varied, the outcomes have also changed. Some have found success through their campaigns, others have not. And officials are divided on how to address this in what appears to be a global phenomenon of protest movement. So what's behind this growing demand to protest? And that's Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. He's putting the spirit upon these people to rise up against their governments. Just like he put the spirit on the prophets to be out there on the highways and byways. All right? This is 2 Ezra chapter 9, verse 1. This is found in the Apocrypha. If you got the 1611 King James Version, this is in there. Okay? So it says, he answered me there. It said, measure thou the time diligently in thyself, and when thou seest part of the signs past, which I have told thee before. So, how do you measure the times? How do you measure what time period you live in? You go into the Bible, you see what prophecies are read, because prophecies are things that is written. Prophecies, prophecy or prophesy simply means to say before, speak before. Pro meaning before, phasai or phasay meaning to speak. So the scriptures or the prophecies tell us what's going to happen on the planet Earth before it happens. So it says, measure thou the time diligently in itself. How do you measure the times? By looking at what's written, what's the prophecies, and looking at what's happening on the planet Earth, and you compare the two. And that's how we know today, 2019, we're living in the end times. And when thou sees part of the signs pass, we see parts of the signs pass, the protesting, the civil unrest, the uprising against the government, which I have told thee before, they shall understand that this is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the earth which he made. And that's the answer to why there is so much protest on the planet Earth. The Most High is visiting the earth which he made. Therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes and uproars of the people in the world, then shalt thou well understand that the Most High spake of those things from the days that were before thee, even from the beginning. All right? And pretty much that's it, man. We are living in the end of days. Repent because the kingdom of heaven is at hand. And the salvation is nearer than we believe, Akim. And for you listeners out there, if you're not an Israelite, from one of the prospective tribes, one of the blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians, and Mexicans, from North, Central, and South America, if you don't repent, and you're not a part of this elect, you're doomed. Destruction is at the door. Judgment is at the door. This is the time to repent. This is the time to tighten up. Now lighten up. I pray and hope that you was edified. I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shah. Until next time, I say Shalom.